Everybody's around waiting on your ass, so.
It was a thing. Like, right after I got that order, you called me. Or sent my message. I was like, oh, this shit.
Should have told them fuck themselves.
I didn't know you
Got a
were doing
podcast.
it. I didn't know you were door dashing.
So there's
shit.
money in that?
I do it for gas and for food money. So,
Food money.
like, basically, when I want to leave to go out to get something to eat in the evening time, since I'm by myself,
Right.
I'll go DoorDash and get gas money and food money. Go fuck off.
You be stealing French fries?
Are you one of the assholes eating out of people's shit?
Yep, that's
No,
it.
I don't steal
Well,
French
that
fries.
shit looks good, man.
I don't steal French fries. I steal pepperoni.
Because I'd be that asshole.
You got to take that pepperoni, you got to grab it on the ends and start twisting it. Look, I'm a pro. You got to twist it, and after that, you peel it up, and you peel it up, and you keep on twisting it like that, like a little frisbee. Oh, yeah.
I seen them videos and them motherfuckers taking them slices and then they'll work that pizza back together like you've never touched it. I'm like, this fucking shit.
And hacks videos on how to do everything, how to steal everything.
I'd be digging in it myself. So I can't DoorDash.
No, I can't
so.
fucking.
If I ever DoorDash to your house, just know I ate some of your shit. So,
Yeah, it had a little
Stole a
trust issue
chicken
going on
nugget.
for a second that it had people taking, you had to take a picture when you was at the place to say you got it. And I guess people was getting pissed off because usually when people do stuff like gig workers, they drive on a couple of different platforms. So you have like,
oh, like, I know what you mean. Like, I see them Lyft and them Uber.
yeah, they have like all of that shit. So like anytime one does something like piss the drivers off, they'll like go over to the other. So it's a thing.
How long you been doing that shit for?
A year.
Because you told me, I'm thinking you're waiting on your fucking food. I'm like, well, fuck, I told him 30
you was
minutes
hungry.
ago we were fucking, he just orders food?
No, I didn't do no kind of shit like that. You know, just like I was riding and it was the first order. I got it because I had my car had an issue with the little plug port, so I stopped and I was at the gas station trying to fix the fuse, trying to find out what diagram went to that accessory. And once I figured that out, I started driving toward the little spot and I got an order. So I pulled off the interstate and then you hit me up. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, well, it's 9 miles away. It's going to wait 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Fucking look, dude. It was all red. I was like, oh, thank you, St. Tammany Parish. Yeah, now they trying in retro, trying to fix all of that shit. So
You made it. You didn't miss nothing.
yeah,
You didn't miss nothing.
in 2045 they'll have Highway 190 fixed.
2045, huh?
Like I said, you didn't miss shit. Did you see Elon Musk when he told
Go fuck
oh,
yourself?
dude, it was fucking amazing.
beautiful.
Oh, I love
Not
it.
only did he say
Dana
he
White's another
spelled
one,
it
man,
out.
you know?
Yeah, and then he
He
had
was
to
like,
repeat
go
it.
fuck yourself.
I
And then he
was-
said, hi, Tom.
Well,
like
did you
in the
see
audience.
the dude that was like, doing the interview and he didn't know what to say. He just, and he's like, go fuck yourself.
You should have got that dude next.
Oh, yeah.
See, because it's like this. Just understand something. Anytime anybody does something, it's not just them, it's their crew. All right? And we have a good example of that right now in office. You have the probably one of the smartest presidents ever lived.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Joe. Yeah.
He says he does. It's just him. It's just him.
Just him,
You know?
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, in a position that he's in, the predicament that he's in, because he can't help what he's doing. But everybody around him can. And instead of them, they're using him like a puppet to do whatever they do.
Yeah.
So whenever you see anything that's going on, like Oprah, all right, if you want to hit some hot topics right now, Oprah is a real big button to hit.
Oprah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, she's a big
So-
button.
She came from... She's like a medium-sized button. I mean,
Well, that's true.
Atkins and probably a couple of gastric bypasses, a sleeve or two. So you have Oprah, and Oprah came from nothing. She has nothing behind her, right? And all of a sudden, she's a billionaire. So what's her base?
What's her base? It looks like fucking white women to me. I mean,
Who's there? How much dirt does she have on everyone to the point to where she can have that amount of power? And the answer to that is, what I'm thinking in my head is that she doesn't, that it's part of some puppetry that's going on. There's somebody behind the scenes that they do have to answer to.
you talking about somebody propping her up to be what she
I
is?
think that's behind anybody. Anywhere you find money, you're gonna find, some illicit stuff. And then, she's
If they give me her
Well, she's
money,
part
I
of-
will do whatever they need me to
she's
do.
part of like 55 or 60 different conspiracies too. So I don't want to start talking that crap. But I'm just saying that anytime in a position of money, and what Elon Musk did is he walked into the whole situation. He was like, he told the dude straight to his face, like, you're gonna try to fucking, hit me with money, like you're gonna try to trap me with that. It's like,
Well,
go
here's
fuck-
another one I think about. Elon Musk comes on the scene. Of course, he always says, well, I came to this country with $1,400. And here we are worth how many billions? And it's like, how?
I don't know, man. Well, fuck, for one, he's a super fucking genius. I mean, I don't know if there's some shady shit going on, but I mean, the motherfucker don't stop.
He's
Nah,
had
he
like
really doesn't.
4 divorces just because he just works.
That's all he
like,
does.
He just fucking
I don't know how he
works.
finds the time to do any of the shit he does.
Yeah, I
He's
don't-
running fucking Twitter. He's doing the Tesla shit. He's got the Starlink. He's got whatever the fuck else he's doing. Then he's at these conferences telling people to go fuck themselves. I mean, I don't know.
I think the old adage is that, you know, if you do good work, you have money.
Yeah.
Instead of people who's trying to make money, they're trying to do
Oh
good
yeah,
work.
yeah. I don't think his driving force is money
No,
by any means.
absolutely
I don't
not.
know the man. I'm just saying I don't believe that's
I
what
don't
he's
particularly
after.
think that greed is because, and I'm just be honest with you, I'm a greedy motherfucker, right? I'd really like to
most
go
of us
somewhere.
are by
like,
nature.
all right,
Well,
look,
within a
like,
certain-
I'll
exactly.
take you for example, straight to your face. You go to the casino, you don't want to walk out of there, loser. You know what I mean? Like, come on,
Well,
straight
who
up.
would, right?
Yeah, I mean, would you want to go?
No.
Would you want to go in there with you know what you got? You got your little $60 or whatever it is. You're gonna sit down there. You're gonna go. I want to fucking lose this money. No, you want to walk out of that motherfucker. You're like, oh, what happened? Like, man, I went to the casino with 60. I came out of there with 600. I'm up, right? And that's how we all think about doing business. But this guy right here, he's like, man, I just want this to work. I don't care about all of this shit right here. But he already does the calculations and shit too because he's a fucking evil genius.
It's just
you know,
like he just needs to be busy. Like his mind just has to be
Oh, I
busy.
agree.
on
I think he
something,
needs-
And that's
I agree.
just
I think what he needs is success. I think
Well,
that's
no matter what you think of him, I
think that's
love
what-
what he's doing with social media. You know,
Absolutely.
and mainly because the left fucking hates it. So you know he's doing something right.
I wish he would buy Facebook and
All
Instagram.
that shit.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and not buy it to where now it's just one sided the other
Right.
way. But you know, he bought
Oh,
Twitter
just to open it up.
Yeah, he turned it into a spot where both people can have a voice. Man, they took that shit away. I mean, it was like he basically said, they were an arm of the government back before he bought it. I mean, during that last fucking
Oh,
election
yeah.
cycle, dude, he said it's worse than what you can imagine
because
when he started digging.
There's video clips that came out on TikTok, of course, because that's where all of my information
Well, that's where all
comes
the
from.
real news is at.
And so I'm swiping through, and they go. They said, "So, what? I just want to get this straight. You have people who graduated from Ivy League schools, such as Harvard, Yale, so forth and so on, that were doctors,
Right.
that are tenured doctors, that have been in the practice for a long time, and they said you want to censor what they said over what you said. And I'm gonna ask you straight up, how many years of medical, whatever it is, schooling, or have you had?" And then, of course, instead of admitting, when it's always yes and no question, what do? Oh, well, you see, that is like, no, answer the question. No, answer the question. After about 5 or 6 of those, they said no. It says, okay, so what makes you think that you can cut off what doctors have told you about what's going on to try to censor that? And of course, I don't know if it was stemming from the quote unquote pandemic that we had, or if it was because of gender identity or whatever the case may be. But that was just a segment of questions to show, how that was going on. Because at first, when Elon Musk took over Twitter, I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't see it.
Well, I had a guess on what he was doing because I had heard him a lot talking about why he was doing it.
And you got to know.
And
how Elon
everybody,
talks.
a lot of people thought he was full of shit. Like, oh no, he's got some kind of something behind it, and it's like he ain't done nothing since he's owned it but open it up. I mean, and that's about it so far. I mean, I don't.
say fuck advertisers.
Yeah, fuck them. You don't need them.
I
And they'll
agree.
be there.
Yeah,
They'll be there.
yeah.
It's one of the biggest platforms on the world. I mean, it's not as many followers as like Facebook, but there's more action on Twitter. I mean, it don't stop. It don't quit.
Let's get it straight. It's like X, right?
Well, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
Formerly
Let's get it
Twitter. I'm
straight. It's
sorry.
X, man.
Yeah.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, it'll be Twitter to me.
I
mean,
I agree.
I don't like the Xing, like, oh yeah,
And they
I'm
still out there talking, Twitter. Well, X, formerly Twitter, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got to let you know that
Oh,
it
yeah.
was Twitter.
Or they just call it Twitter.
Well, they fucking hate him, and I love
They
it.
hate it.
so
They hate him. I agree.
love it.
That's one of many, many, many things that people have to start paying attention to because the things we have going on today is what absurd. And why did he do that? I think a lot of kind of like the gladiators, how they the kings and the queens, everybody's suffering, but the kings and the queens are in power, so they turn around and they pit a bunch of people against one
Oh,
another.
of course. Oh, they don't need us all sitting around in harmony. That'd
And
be the
then we
worst
turn
thing
around
for
and we
them.
start talking about that shit. We're not
Yeah.
paying attention to what's going on. That's kind of the deal. these
I was
days.
watching a video yesterday about the creator of Oculus, how he got fired from Facebook after they bought it.
And what was
basically-
Oculus?
It's the VR headsets,
Oh,
the
okay.
white VRs, and then Facebook bought it. So, and then basically when Trump's campaign came, he donated like $5,000 to it, and just the backlash was so bad from the donation that Facebook eventually just pushed him out. They put him on leave, and then was like, yeah, we really don't need you to come back. Is how he was explaining it on stage. I was like, what?
Also
the
a good
fuck?
reason. That's also not to sidestep what you're talking about. That's also a good reason why you should work for yourself.
Yeah.
It's also why you should be an entrepreneur. Like when you talk about a lot of things that's going on, like for instance, Elon Musk. So if Elon Musk was hired by Twitter and he wasn't the person that he is, and he would get up there, in other words, if he didn't have the heart that he has also, then everybody would start to fall for the bullshit that's been going on for a long time. And so, that's kind of a way that we want to start to choose people to try to see who, and pay attention instead of having a bunch of knee-jerk button pushers that are just trying to hide behind the cloth, actually have somebody that has a face and get behind what they're doing. What that dude did, I mean, just think, if he worked for someone else, he wouldn't be working for someone else long, by saying.
Oh, no.
That's, I mean, doctorless guy, same thing.
But even motherfuckers that don't, you still got some CEOs that they're going to sit there and play the bullshit game that they think they need to play because they got to have these brownie points in his virtue signaling that they're doing. I mean, it doesn't matter. I just don't, because they got billionaires, people with almost as much money as him that will sit there and kiss ass to that bullshit that's going on nowadays.
Because and that's another thing too, Elon Musk does not strive for power. He's never on a power trip. His number one goal is just to be successful.
Seems like it. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it. I don't know.
He's the number one person when it comes to saying, all right, I just want to have this to work. And then, if he has something, he'll change it and do whatever he has to do. And he cut a lot of fat when he went in there too.
He did. He got rid of 80%, man.
He took the little cry corners out.
Right. The best was when he got rid of people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
By email, and it was like, Donald Trump, you're fired. When you open the email.
Gotta love it.
Dad, he went on, I think he went on a Zoom meeting too to say, yeah, you're fired. Just straight. But he said it like he would say, you're fired. You guys, you see, you gotta go.
Gotta go. Man,
I'm sorry, Elon. I know he's listening.
Well, he'll be on next week. I don't know if I told you.
Right.
No. Anyway, I don't know. I was watching, I don't know if you saw the, Hannity hosted it the other night.
The debate?
Oh, yeah. Did you watch any of that
I
shit?
did.
Dude, I ain't never seen it. Well, I guess I mean.
In the midst of putting up a Christmas tree and decorations, the holiday spirit. But yeah. I
just watching this clown from California, man. I don't know if he answered a single fucking question, dude.
He
was
beat around the bush the whole thing.
It was so politician, dude. It was just, it was amazing. I don't know how he gets a vote. I mean, honestly, from anybody.
You sweet California.
Well, how many times you been? You've been to Cali a few times. Was it a piece of shit when you went, or was it?
It's a mixture of both. Because I understand this. You have, I don't know how many U.S. presidents.
What part of California?
I went up to the Bay Area, to the
Francisco.
Yeah. So, number one, there's no telling how many of our presidents you've had that came from that state. But any state in the United States that you go to that we've had a U.S. president come from, you can tell. Right. By infrastructure, bridges, whatever, right? Because the brother-in-law shit, goes pretty far. That and they own the whole western seaboard. So you have every ship that's coming from across the water coming into there. And then also you have Mexico and a lot of the Mexican labor and a lot of other Latino countries that are coming in there to work. So it's a mixture of having cheap labor combined with more shit than you know what to do with.
The jobs Americans don't want to do.
With a variance of, and also good weather too, because that's where the desert meets the ocean. So
exactly.
They had the perfect scenario. So when you go there, is California awesome? Absolutely. Do they have everything? Absolutely. But then you get into the cultural part of it, and it's like, I want to fucking leave.
Well, that's what the biggest complaint I hear is how beautiful of a place it was, and then people that go back after it's been run by them idiots for a while just can't believe.
And I can go back to, because I was in San Francisco on a dealer trip in '96. And we went to, Fisherman's Wharf, did the Alcatraz thing, and then we went up to Napa Valley. Dude, gorgeous.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge.
You went?
Went over the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a gorgeous. I've never been south of like San Jose, so I can't say I've experienced L.A. or San Diego or anything like that, Bakersfield or anything like that. But if you saw the reel with the guy in Bakersfield with the train coming across, and there's a guy on the train breaking into a prime container.
Yeah, just fucking
just trying to get in it, see what's in it, But
there's a trail, like a little shit trail behind
that
train.
Saw that one.
All Amazon packages.
Yeah, all kind of trash.
So in '96, when I went there for the first time, I spent the week up there. Gorgeous. I mean, everything clean. Of course, even back then in '96, you couldn't smoke in a bar room. Up there.
Now you can shit on the street.
So we go into this bar room. Somewhere around Nob Hill, man. We go into this bar room and we're smoking cigarettes, right? So the guy says, dude, y'all can't do that. Where y'all from? New Orleans. I get why y'all doing that. So, dude, he put us at the end of the bar, pulled out the ashtrays from under the counter. We smoked the whole night. Nobody bitched. Went back there 3 years ago. Totally different. I mean, homelessness on the side of the roads, just shit. Just total 100%
There's
shit.
an app. There's an app that.
Well, that's what your boy pulled out on TV the other day. That
DeSantis.
DeSantis, yeah, he pulled out like a picture of it of all the little pinpoints, and he's like, "This is human feces." And
Yeah,
app that I was like,
it's a
"Oh
shit
shit!"
tracker app.
And all that dumb motherfucker could do is stand there and just kind of grin. He had no fucking argument against it. You know how the fuck he's running that state.
Well,
man.
you see, so what happens is the greed.
Well,
part
of
it.
course, that's
Because,
politics.
All right, so when
man.
I just described, you had the best case scenario where you have the whole Western Seaboard. You have a lot of labor coming up. That they can take advantage of. At the same time, as you have more things to do than you do with the Silicon Valley. You have Hollywood. You have everything, every facet of every imaginable situation you could have there. Of course, then the real estate stuff and all of it, right? Everything, all this is in motion. At the same time as they do have the growers and the industrialization part of it too. And instead of them trying to capitalize off of that and using those tax dollars to better everything, some kind of way, the powers that be that were in California were able to get around paying taxes, i.e. billionaires, whoever has power not to pay taxes didn't. So what they did was they said, all right, well, we'll just turn around, we'll cannibalize our citizens. And now everybody's hauling ass. So,
well, it's basically how every inner city's run. It's just this is a whole fucking state. I mean, that this guy controls. It's
so
crazy.
Texas
Sometimes
is,
I think too, though, because you go north of Frisco, you hit Napa Valley, and you're going upwards more Republican area and up Napa Valley and up in Northern California.
But
and
it's
I'm
still the
sure
whole
they're
state.
feeling the pinch, from being in the state. But
it's the whole state because of the state taxes and the way that they tax things. And it's statewide. And what's happening is you have a mass exodus. Everybody's leaving. So
when there's a
so
shortage
now
of
there's
U-Hauls,
going.
Yeah.
there's an issue.
So now they're going to Texas is the number one recipient because of the fact that when they do leave, that's one of the driving forces is to try to find somewhere that they're less taxed. And Texas has one of the most lenient taxes compared to whatever the taxes that they were trying to get away from, and so they're running to Texas. But at the same time, if you're driving through Texas and you have California plates, they let you know on the interstate, and then they also have bumper stickers that say "Don't California."
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Them
come
clowns
over and do the same shit.
Yeah, they come in those places and then vote for fucking Beto.
Exactly. And I really welcome everybody to go anywhere you want. Just leave your voting habits.
If you're leaving for that reason,
if you're
too,
leaving for that
yeah,
reason
there you go.
because you can't take it, then dude, leave your voting habits. But that doesesn't seem like it happens.
No, it doesn't. Well, you could tell by like Austin because it's super liberal over there in Texas.
See, Austin is one of the weirdest places you can go. And by weird, just like going to California. You go to California, it's beautiful, and you're looking around, you're like, man, this is lovely. And then you look and you like lock eyes with somebody, and it's like, oh shit. This guy sees me and somebody else that I don't see, and he's looking dead at me. So you get that, a lot. And they, oh man.
Well, that's what you invite though when you have such lax laws like they do.
I don't know why. I don't know why this isn't. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and I think the powers that be are just fucking with us. It either has to be that or there's a shift.
Well, it's probably a shift, man. I don't know.
I'd say a shift.
I don't know. It's tough, man. We talk about it a lot. How I can't even see them letting it go back the other way. Meaning like we just vote our way out of this. And I just don't see them allowing
I think
it.
them days are done.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, they got the power.
I think they figured out a way to steal it.
Figure out a way to get them fucking guns from us. We all in trouble. That's one thing we can't. And not to be hardcore, like they come knock on the door and get our guns. But I mean, honestly, if they could do it, they'd have done that shit.
Oh, they'd been done already.
They'd have done
Absolutely.
It's funny that most of the response of everything that they say is that we shouldn't be violent and we're gonna do so by force.
it. Yeah. We're gonna make you be peaceful by force.
Say that again. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Yeah.
That's goofy, man. Which I don't know. I mean, both sides got some goofy shit with them. People get married to their team though, and that's what you do, man.
They do. A lot of people would rather say something fake or false to push their agenda than just say, hey, I'm wrong. It takes a lot of
We saw a lot of that with that COVID nonsense. Nobody wants to come out and say, yeah, we fucked up, man. We were wrong. It didn't work. These masks on these kids didn't work. These fucking shots that we forced on them, it didn't work. You don't hear anybody saying that. It's a fact now, and they know it, but they won't come out and just apologize,
I really, truly believe those companies, Moderna, Pfizer, they've got blood on their hands.
Oh, fucking right. They got blood on their hands. A lot of it.
Absolutely.
Let's go a little deeper with that.
Oh, shit.
Where did COVID come from?
China.
Yeah. Wait, say it again.
China.
China. China. It's the China disease, and all of a sudden you couldn't say
Virus.
it, right?
Yeah, you
The
couldn't
China
call it
virus.
that. Yeah.
It came from China, but yet here we are, still feeling the aftershocks of it, right?
Well, yeah,
But nobody's saying anything about what China did. Nobody's talking about, hey, China, you got to pay for this shit.
well,
You-
because,
you know,
but you know that this
you messed up a lot, China.
well,
and now
this
you gotta pay
government
for
ain't
it.
going to hold China liable for nothing. Nothing. They can't. They let you know.
Ain't
They
that
got
some shit?
something.
Ain't that some shit? So now we're mad at Moderna and Pfizer and who was the other one?
Johnson and
Johnson and
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Damn, the baby powder. Damn, man.
But they're evil too. You know, not everybody there. I mean, I think sometimes these doctors, these scientists that develop these things, they're probably trying to do good shit. It's just these sick fucks that are in charge of these companies. All they see is profit.
The whole medical situation in the United States.
it's fucking dirty, man.
The whole thing. And
It
the
is.
reason why I know, and this is what I advise to anybody in the United States, is you're going to have to step out of the country for a little while. And not on the government's dime. Don't go say, all right, yeah, I've been to Afghanistan. Because you're going to come back. So you think that the whole rest of the world outside of the United States is Afghanistan. It's absolutely not. Afghanistan is probably represents, and I'm going to say it truthfully, Afghanistan, not in a wartime setting, but in a different time setting, would have been the upper echelon of everything before all of this shit broke out, because it was an oil country. But after that, as it sits now in war, it represents about 1% of the world.
Yeah, I've seen
Go to a
pictures
lot
of like a lot of Middle Eastern places that like 40, 50 years ago were really nice places.
Absolutely.
And then
Go back to the
wars broke out.
50s.
Yeah.
Look at Turkey. Look at Turkey, Afghanistan, Egypt.
Yeah, it wasn't just
Pakistan and shit.
Egypt is not the only
it used to be
ancient place
nice.
there was. It's the whole Middle East.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, well, they're finding a lot of that shit now, though.
Yeah.
Man, they're finding more
Again.
sites and sites. Yeah,
Again,
they're pushing
because-
back.
Yeah, they would protect Egypt, and then but everything else they would just pillage and do whatever. And then now they're starting to turn back, like you said, and starting to rediscover it for the most part.
They're doing that all over the world, though. They're starting to find look what they thinking was civilizations and shit.
Oh, I don't want to see about that shit.
I'm just telling you. I mean, what you do when they dig fucking, hundreds of feet, they're doing some kind of project or something, building a fucking building. All of a sudden they find all these fucking streets and looks like where people live.
Mosaic.
Yeah, and it's shit that's been buried for years, So then they start pushing back the dates of when they think, human and civilization started, because they're finding new shit all the time, I mean, you got people that are going to argue that because they've been taught something and that's what they go with, but
Yeah, it falls into yeah, we're gonna talk about that shit, but it falls into religion.
well,
That's
yeah.
basically what
Yeah,
it
well,
boils down to,
you know.
because of the fact that we were supposed to come from two.
Well, I think a lot of the religion, people wanted answers, So instead of, we didn't have the kind of technology we have now to look at things and say, okay, how did this start or where did this come from? So it had to have just happened like this.
Yeah, and people don't I don't know. Like, just,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with
I
religion.
don't know.
That's not a knock on religion. I'm just saying that that's an answer for it. Back in the day, it was just easy to say, oh, well, it was created by this, And it's like, well, now we can say, well, maybe this is what happened, Now they do have hardcore people that are religious say, fuck you, don't talk about that. It's like, damn.
Still like that they had it though.
know.
I love that they had religion, no matter what
Oh,
religion it
has
is,
its place
because
for sure, man.
it's brought. Oh my god. Yeah, buddy.
We're
I
in
tell you
Louisiana. We make up words all
what,
the time.
man, it's done brought in a bunch of stuff over here.
That might be a word. Let's
Me
Google
and
it.
Brittany.
Broughton.
Let me stop. So, no, a lot of our libraries, a lot of our scholars, a lot of the studies that we had, and a lot of things, a lot of the basis of a lot of the civilization that we've had has been because of religion, and not any one particular one. Religion, it brings good when there's a lot of bad, but at the same time, when stuff gets good, religion stops, and when religion stops, morals dive down, and morals dive down, and then it repeats itself.
Well, what I've heard from
Is what is said.
people that aren't religious is they don't like the fact that some laws were based around religion. So they're like, why do I have to follow those laws? I'm not religious, And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I've heard that argument,
Everything, no empire stays together 100%. Everything's going to fall. Everything's going to go toward corruption. It's
Well,
just
of
what it
course.
is.
We're there now, brother.
You
Look at the
can't-
Roman
you
Empire,
can't- you
man.
have-
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Well,
No
we're
matter
there
which
now.
one, if you're a Republican, it's going to get to the point where the Republicans are going to start to rot. If you're a Democrat, the
Which
Democrats
they're
are gonna start
doing
to
too,
rot.
man. They're a bunch of fucking cowards. I'm so sick of.
I don't choose either side.
Well, no, you can't.
No.
You can't because,
There's
like you said,
no way.
you become devoted to these motherfuckers like they really care.
And then you lie for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you get too
exactly.
far on
Because
each
here's the
side,
thing,
it gets crazy.
Like right now, if me and you was to get up and square up, and then we're both sitting in the emergency room because I sprained this and you chipped that, right? The two people that we was talking about, they'll never
They're
even
not
hear
going
about
to
it.
be there. That's what I mean. So
You know
we're
what I
fighting
mean?
for these
Yeah,
sides,
exactly.
and it's like, for what? Not granted. I mean, I guess sometimes you got to pick one and go with it and just hope.
No, you don't.
Well, no, I'm saying that somebody's got to run the country. So you want to try to help, I guess, the person that you think might be the best side,
The best of both evils.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In my mind,
That's
you
a
know?
situation I talk about all the time too, because even if somebody does get elected, they still have to prove themselves. So if you're talking on a percentile basis, right? Number one, it's going to be 50-50. And then from there, it's 25, 20, 50-50 again, whether they do good or not. You know, because you always hear about it. This person, all right, so they ran against this person won by a landslide, then he got in office, and then within 5 years, he screwed this up and he screwed this up. And it's like, damn, dude. Like, you know, so I got into the point
Well,
now where-
because we go into, or we don't, because I don't, but a lot of people go into it believing that, you know, they have these intentions, you know, these good intentions that they're going to fucking, you know, follow through with because
Yeah,
they
they do.
set it on the campaign trail. But
sure they do. Their intentions are
it's-
to put their children through school.
well, of course, yeah. I mean, it's all about power and money. It's just we get so wrapped up in it that they have us fighting with each other. You know, like it's just ridiculous. But now, granted, all we see is the bad side of each is what's broadcasted. You know, like say the left. What we think of the left is people that want to cut off our children's dicks because that's what we see.
Right.
What they see of the right is a bunch of racist Nazi KKK people running around. So if I
Homophobic,
look at-
misogynist,
well,
right.
right. So if I look at what they're broadcasting about the left, I'm going to say, well, I don't want no part of that shit. I'm
Right.
fucking right. I'm going
Exactly.
right. Fuck that. But you know, when in reality, we're probably all somewhere in the fucking middle. You know what I mean? Like most people want, if they have children, you just want your kids to do better than you were. You know. So if you sit down and talk to a person that votes Democrat, that's probably what they'll tell you. But that's not what we see because that doesn't make good news. You know, what makes good news is these assholes walking around with Nazi flags at these fucking. You know what I'm saying? So then,
Well, then you hit
everybody on the left is like, well, I don't want to be associated with that. So fuck that. I'm hardcore left. You know.
So hats off to Elon because he grabbed Twitter and he turned that shit
Well,
around.
exactly, yeah.
And then I hope and I pray as much as I possibly can that other platforms are going to follow suit. And
They
stop all
not.
this
They would
bullshit.
have to be bought out. They would have to be. I mean, who else is going to come through and he'd have to buy them all? You think Zuckerberg's going to change his fucking mind? He's
Leave Zuck
that
alone.
fucking
Zuck
prick.
is
Fucking,
Leave him alone.
he sat there and admitted that the FBI came to him and told him to bury that fucking laptop bullshit that was going. You know.
He's probably one. His wife's probably one. Let me stop.
Well, either way, like I said,
No.
you can't stop. Finish it. Finish your thought.
No, I'm not going to say that his wife had anything to do with the coronavirus. I'm not going to say that shit at all.
Yeah.
Wait, what you said?
His wife has something to do with it because where she what?
Oh,
I do not know.
well, she's Asian for sure.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't think she's Asian. No.
Yeah, we did, dude. The racism, dude. Calm the fuck down.
Man, I was itching, man. I had like
Well, you can get away with it. You're mixed. You say what you want.
not really. Get
You
away
got
with
that
shit.
privilege.
Yeah, that white privilege.
Fucking Darius Rucker.
Got the
Let's see what we
right.
got on the podcast tonight. Darius Rucker. Sing me some Wagon Wheel, dude. I'm bored.
He's gonna sit back like I'm actually gonna do it.
Everybody's waiting.
Mama rock me. No.
I don't know. I'm just glad hopefully we got the shit back right in this state. I mean, I don't know how you feel. You may vote one way or another, but I know we got a Republican coming in. I'd like to see him finally get that fucking where we don't have to pay to carry a goddamn gun,
Yes.
you know, on us.
I'll tell you what I
Military needs
experienced.
to
I'll tell you my
come
number one
ASAP.
experience in this state before I started to cut you off, but I'm trying to get to something while I still can. There was a lot of people who, okay, so in a prison system, you have death row. And death row is a wing of its own.
Wow,
Going
wow,
the wing
wow,
of its
yippee
own.
yo, yippee yay.
Exactly. You got
I remember that.
Suge Knight is still there. He's really there. So
Oh, he is.
the irony.
He is.
Shout out to Suge Knight. So
Suge Knight.
when you sat on the row, what they call the row, you know, you're waiting for your death. It's coming, right? You Green Mile like a mug. And
That's a good movie.
20 or 30 years.
And then what happens
Yeah, exactly.
is
You're fed,
um,
watered. And, yeah.
they find you not guilty of what you're going to get capital punishment for, and then they put you into whatever, you know. So let's say if you have 15 pending charges, but one of them was going to get you the capital punishment, right? And so that charge got erased or whatever the case may be. So then you still have to back up the time for the other stuff that they found you guilty on. So those people got moved on from off of death row into general pop. And most of them, when they got put in general pop, they said, I would rather be on death row than be in general population.
That's
Because of
probably
the
I
noise.
quiet.
kind of agree with that.
Probably quiet over there.
It's just like a bunch of baboons just tearing shit up. You know,
Yeah, but
just,
don't some of them
just-
go crazy in that isolation shit from what I
It's peaceful.
Well, yeah, it's peaceful till you start hearing fucking voices.
No, it's peaceful till they snatch your little pasty ass out.
Because for a punishment, they stick your ass in a room by yourself. I mean, I like being by myself, but I mean,
confinement, but
some people,
and you just you get you got your little library that's in there. You talk to somebody, but then you get used to that. It's nice and peaceful, and all of a sudden they stick your little pasty ass in General Pop, and the sunlight hits you, and you the light. It is, hey man, can I get a cigarette? Hey man, can I get a cigarette? Ooh, look at that booty. And then you and it's just like, man, I want to go back to motherfucker. No. So that's the reason why I'm bringing it up is because of the fact that here. And I know I have a lot of ideas about what's going on in the state, and the racism that I experienced whenever Trump was running, and
how
it was like,
honestly, I want to touch on that.
Yeah, boy,
I want to touch on that.
We're gonna have our boy get in there, and they're gonna do everything right. That's right, boy, and the South will rise again. And and I seen it. Like the rebel
Well, I
flag
thought
started
you meant
popping up.
like racism straight to you.
No.
Like who was
Yeah,
like
the
where does
crosses.
that?
Look, man, look. The smell of kerosene.
Is burning in your
The
front
smell
yard?
of kerosene at night, man. When you smell it, and then it just starts to set in on you, and then you see that poof, right, and then you hear that Southern Baptist choir in the background.
But you weren't experiencing nothing that fucking crazy.
Nobody
You just
did.
hearing some. That's what I mean. You just hearing some.
It was a
redneck-
bunch of LSU flags and a bunch of red. It's not a redneck flag. The rebel flag and the.
Would you say the LSU flag?
Yeah.
LSU
No.
flags and rebel flags. Like that's what the
It was a Trump sticker on a rebel flag truck or a Trump sticker on an LSU truck, and that's when I made the connection. I was like, oh shit, yeah, it like dawned on me. I was like, wow, but it's due to the fact of how many white people we have in Louisiana and how many white people we have that have money in Louisiana, and so that's what you're gonna see, right? But besides that, and then a lot of it brought a lot of racism out, and people to try to speak more openly about. Whatever, because of the fact they had a whole ideology about Trump, and of course,
about what though? Because I'm white and I know white people, and I don't remember hearing anything super racist.
lot
I mean, people were.
it had a lot of white people that were just talking a lot about Trump getting in office, and then of course Trump did run a racist campaign. He said that he had, I got that good bloodline and all this stuff about the German bloodline and so forth and so on, and somehow or another he appealed to, and it was a smart move. Right. That shit he was a genius for that, because when he got in office, he didn't say nothing about that rebel flag. He just said nothing about trying to get his white brethren to get on down here, brother. We're gonna run these bikers up and down this highway. We're gonna take over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm just curious. I was curious how somebody who wasn't for Trump, because everybody I'm surrounded by is pretty much pro Trump, just because.
No, but I seen the difference.
Yeah,
right. So then after Trump got in office, of course, I mean, because he ran his, I wouldn't say that he ran a straight up racist campaign, but at the same time he had a lot of backing of the groups that swayed toward that. It clearly, and then he let it go. He went with it, right? And then when he got elected president,
Well, that's like saying the other side's back got BLM backing them, so that makes them. I mean, they, what I'm saying? Yeah, right, exactly.
What I'm saying is, when I paid attention to it and I seen it, it clearly happened. I seen it, but it wasn't that he ran a racist campaign because of the fact that he was racist. He let people have whatever idea that they wanted to have because of the fact that it spelled success.
Well, I think that's everybody who's running for
office.
It doesn't matter.
As soon as he got in office, he was like,
yeah, kind of left them.
Yeah. But if you go drive down the back road and stuff like that, you see a Trump.
Yeah.
You see the Trump over the rebel flag. You've seen it before.
I think now they have more reason than ever if he's allowed to run. Because I mean, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you think this clown we got running the country now,
He's not running. It's not his fault.
but that whole side. I mean, there's
it's gonna
no
be
way.
it's gonna be that side. It's not his fault. It's not.
Yeah.
If anybody that has a breath in their body is blaming Biden for anything,
Well, no,
They need
I
to
don't
be
blame
banned.
Biden.
Yeah,
I
you
blame
cannot-
the
that's just-
administration.
Of course.
because I don't know, give me an object. Let's say you can grab that drinking glass right there and set it right here and say, okay, this is our president right here, right? And then you can pluck it, or you can sit there, you can whatever like that. This dude, he's clearly out of his mind, but it's not his fault.
No. He's being
He's like a
paraded out
child.
there.
He's like a child. They push him in a direction. That's where he
Well,
goes.
what's sad is that was the best they had back when they. I mean, who else would it? That shows you right there. They have nothing going when they.
And
had
I think
to
the
pick.
question is that do you really think he got 81 million votes?
Fuck no, he didn't.
No.
Fuck no, he did. He might think it, but
Who was the last person to actually get elected president in the United States?
Elected?
Yeah.
like legitly.
Not appointed, elected.
Well, yeah, that's true. Most of them are appointed. Trump wasn't appointed. Nobody wanted him. Both sides didn't want him.
He's the one that won. I don't know. But
And that's where-
But wait. That brings another question then, because you have, there's a lot of people who they know, according to the conspiracy theorists, that they know that when a person is in college, They know which one's going to be president. So how did he beat all of that?
Wait, rewind that. Who knows? What do you?
There's supposed to be. It's a conspiracy. Let me back it up.
Oh, you said it was a conspiracy theory. I thought you were talking facts.
It's a conspiracy
tell
theory that every U.S. president that we've ever had, for the majority, I'm not saying all because of course Trump is an exclusion to the rule, but so that they know it was going to be Biden. They knew it was going to be Barack Obama. They knew it was going to be up to the point till I think Hillary was the upset. Yeah. And then when Hillary was the upset, then of course they fired back to the point till they put indictments against.
Well, you can see it shook them when Trump. I mean, it shook them to their core. I mean, because
you could hear it from the moment that man came down that escalator. That it was.
On The Simpsons?
He'll never be president.
Wait, on The
It
Simpsons?
was on The Simpsons. No, well, exactly. Right. They didn't take the shit serious.
They didn't take it seriously.
Yeah,
and
I seen it on The Simpsons. That's why.
I think Hillary thought she was owed that.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It was her turn.
It was her turn.
Yeah, it's the first woman president, man.
You want to hear my theory?
Do I?
Yeah, you
We're gonna hear
absolutely
it
do.
anyway.
You
but-
wanna
What kind
hear
of
his theory?
YouTube channels do you follow?
You want to hear it?
You subscribe to some crazy shit on YouTube.
You ready? You want to hear it?
Yeah, Trump is a racist. Fucking.
No, he just.
No, I know what you mean. He pandered to.
He did.
Well, I don't think he purposely did. I think they jumped on it.
And I
you
think
know?
that's
And
kinda
what was he
going
going to
back
do?
to,
Say
like-
fuck y'all, don't want your vote? I mean,
Like we were talking about the extremes of everything, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah, I mean,
just
it's-
what you're seeing because it's what
That's
makes views.
Dude,
It's the extremes of shit.
I
But
was in
most
Brazil.
people are like us that support it. You know what I mean? Like
on both sides.
I was
Yeah,
in
on both sides, yeah.
Brazil because I didn't know what he was going for, and I seen that part of it, and then me getting out of the United States every now and again to get a breath of fresh air. I was in Brazil whenever Trump was elected president. I was like, what the hell?
They got fresh
Because-
air over there.
Oh yeah,
In Brazil?
they got some fresh. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it. They got fresh over there. Mangoes. They got fresh mangoes.
Fresh mangoes.
So I was like, what the hell happened? And I didn't know. But then when I came back and started to see what this guy actually was doing, and what he was talking about, and he said straight up that I want to stop China. And I think that was a retaliation. We could say that was a retaliation against us for what he said about what he did with China first, because he fired off on China first. He wanted to stop all the stuff that was coming in from China into the United States. He wanted to have more American goods.
And that's nothing new. That's nothing new with Trump. If you listen to Trump, even back in his younger days of being on Oprah, do you think you're ready for the job? No, I don't think. But if I'm called up to do it, I would do it. What would you? Well, I mean, China, that's our biggest threat. He was saying that 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, he saw it coming. I mean, fuck, we rely on him so much.
How did he hit us that damn hard? And nobody says shit. But but anyway, let me go on my theory. So my theory is that Hillary knew that she was going to get in office, and it all boils down to Walmart, because Bill and Hillary sat on the Walmart board, and when Bill was governor of Arkansas, the headquarters of Walmart is in Bentonville, Arkansas, and Walmart was the largest retailer in the United States, and then after he became president, they became the largest retailer of the world. And then they were trying to put in the clinics and the banks and everything. And also the dollar stores were all supposed to be Walmarts, little ones. Did you know that? That's interesting. Yeah, they voted. They were trying to get the clinics into Walmart. They were trying to get banks into Walmart.
Well,
and
they've
then
done that. They got banks and Walmart.
And then they were trying to get medical clinics in there as well. So this would be medical clinics and banks.
eye doctors.
And then, but it was supposed to be like on a big deal, right? To further sock it to everybody, and we'll get onto that at a different time of how much I hate Walmart. But here we go. So she was supposed to be elected president, and then was supposed to help Walmart out to get all of this stuff done. And actually, all of the dollar stores too, they were voting for that, and they shot it down. They said no because you'll have a monopoly. And so all of that shit got shot down because of the fact that she didn't get to be. If she was president, we would be sitting in Walmart right now doing this podcast.
I seen one of them cities they were
Like
supposed to be
about
opening a police department inside Walmart. That it was so bad, and I forget what city it was, but I was reading the article on it. And it was like, damn, that's pretty rough. And Walmart's like, look, why don't you come put a police department in here? I was like, motherfucker. But it was one of them places where they're just walking there and
So what?
and taking
so
what they feel like fucking
because
taking.
And we'll talk about Walmart one day because it's a huge thing, and how bad it is when it goes into an area and a lot of people become dependent on it. And then they don't have to be to where they just have to not make the numbers. So in other words, the numbers is if they're supposed to be in the, I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. Let's say they're supposed to be at a 20 percentile as far as your profit. If that Walmart does not go to those numbers, they shut it down. Well, here's the problem with that. So you used to have your mom and pops that had the plumbing store and you name it, Christmas tree people, all of them. Everybody suffers when Walmart goes into the area. And then when they leave, just voids everywhere.
Well, I think that's to be said of any of these big box stores. If it's Home Depot or Lowe's or, your Targets and,
Yeah. But it used to be like compartmentalized, to where you could have, like there's a different entity that ran. Like they didn't have that much control. One wheelhouse,
Right.
One to rule them all, and
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Now, if
And
you were a Walton, you wouldn't give two fucks, though, would you? You know what I mean? We only care because we ain't them.
if I was a Walton, I'd fuck all three of y'all.
that nice.
Yep. Fucking right.
Wait, oh yeah. What about the profanity on here? Can you say?
The profanity?
Yeah.
No, don't fucking say anything.
Okay, all right. Letting F-bombs fly and shit.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
Then your children got to sit there and go, "What are we gonna watch the podcast?" And and the mom is like,
And most people are going to take the BSing as bullshitting.
Bullshit.
"Is that what that meant?"
Babysitting with the guys.
Yeah. See.
Babysitting with the guys. Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice acronym. Biden stuff with the guys.
I think I don't even know how that rant started. I think we were talking about John Bell Edwards not letting us carry fucking guns.
Well, yeah, that's where we were leading. So, when I took my concealed gun handgun course, oh God, years ago, and I don't have it anymore.
He did
but,
way worse than I did, by the way.
yeah, but the guy that gave me the course, I think it was Bearco or something. He's a big advocate of like no permits,
And it's crazy because he makes money.
and he
doing
makes
it.
great
Yeah,
money.
But he knows what's right. I mean,
It's ridiculous.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be hardcore fucking gun guy to say that it's just because like they always say, I mean, these motherfuckers are running around with this shit in their fucking drawers with no fucking license, so, but I gotta pay.
We can all agree.
I gotta pay the fucking state to carry it where I want to carry it. It's bullshit. That's why I let mine fucking expire. It's like, I'm not
I
gonna keep
feel
giving
the
these
same way
fucking
about tax
And then
stamps
you're really
with
held to a
ATF,
higher standard.
honestly.
tax
The
stamps.
tax stamps with the ATFs for suppressors and shit like that. Like you're a terrible person, 10 years in prison if you don't pay us this $200.
But if you do, yeah.
But if you do, you're fine. Like, nah, you're good.
What is the excuse they use for that? Just because they know who's got them? Like they just want to watch?
Yeah, pretty much. But it started like way back when $200 was equivalent to like $2,000 to us.
Oh, it goes that far back.
Yeah, it was like I think it was 68 is when they outlawed. They that's when they brought in the machine gun ban, and when it started getting into the tax stamps where you could register your machine gun, pay a $200 tax stamp, and keep it. But most people at that time really weren't prepared to spend $200 on a tax stamp. So,
Which they knew.
Yeah.
I mean, but
It should be up for debate.
What is a tax stamp?
it's just you basically fill out like you would when you go buy a gun. You fill out the form.
I'm just curious. What is the tax part of it? What I'm confused on what that.
It goes to the ATF and they use it for whatever the fuck they want, apparently.
Yeah, I was just wondering why they called it a quote tax stamp.
So that it just doesn't sound like give your money to us. Honestly.
It might have been that they actually had a physical stamp back in the day.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the word tax. What is that about?
The tax.
Is that what they're saying? Like they're using it as taxes? Like
It was probably literally you had to go and pay a tax on whatever your
okay.
weapons was.
That's what I meant. Was it
and
literal?
They
Like-
gave you a stamp,
I
and
got
then it kind of derived.
yeah,
from
because
that.
we are talking about 68.
It's like saying, look, I'll tell you. Do you know how to roll a window down? Yeah. Show me how you roll a window. What about hanging a phone up? Look, that's another one there. Exactly, hanging the phone up. We actually hang the phone up. They don't even know what that means.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah,
Just click the red button.
Yeah, one of the I love TikTok. The little girl goes, why you don't just put the window up? Why you got to say roll it up? Why do you roll a window up? Yeah, and then the dude was like, he paused it. He was like rubbing his head, just like like, oh, here we go. So, but then again,
You want a drink, dog?
not I'm not Caucasian enough for that one.
What the
Yeah.
claw?
Well, you would think a good podcast would have a little food for us and maybe some cold drinks or something.
Well, there is. Look, I got warm drinks right there. Y'all want some food? I probably got some food.
No,
But I got some pizza inside.
As we get more into it, yeah, we'll have to plan that. You know?
Oh, we will. Yeah,
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 absolutely.
we'll order pizza or something.
Yeah.
the son's got pizza.
We'll
in
do
there.
it
He just
that,
walked in.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll bring it. It's like, what is this cheap ass order?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm going in that direction.
Be
I'll
late
take
as fuck with cold food.
Right, exactly.
it. I haven't heard it eaten.
Shit missing.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, oh man, it's
I
paid
really
for.
wanted that taco, Boojie.
Like I wanted it too.
Man, I wanted it too today, man. I was so disappointed. No, you cool. Go ahead and drink it. You'll just buy the next 12-pack.
Yeah, them things don't taste like nothing. It's got a brand new taste, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it was rough at first. You know, it
Yeah, I
reminded me
tried
of
to drink
that Alka-Seltzer medicine. When I used to try that, my dad would have that shit in the house, and I tried. And when I first tasted one, that's what it hit me. I was like, God damn! But
I thought it was supposed to be a wine cooler. I was like, oh,
No, 'cause
yeah.
it's
And I
not
seen all of the
sweet.
flavors, and I was like, oh, I'm about to cut up.
yeah, no, it's
What
real.
was it? That was berry cherry. What is that one? What is that right there?
Blackberry. We're diverse. It's black. Yeah. Well, mine's strawberry. That's the
No, one of
main.
them had like exotic name. It had like berry cherry or something like that, or something good, something real appetizing. I was like, man, I'm about to.
I don't discriminate.
I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be delicious.
well, that was my problem.
And it was
Randy's
hot.
like, try it,
And I went pop, and I was
yeah.
like,
Well, because you were expecting something else. I did
God,
that.
no.
No, I was expecting
After
a
I
sweet
tasted it,
fucking drink.
The second, the
Yeah,
third,
and
the
I
fourth,
tasted
the fifth.
cold piss, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I couldn't.
And what you drank before that?
I don't want to say, but it might have been rhymed with like Lud Bite. No, but I quit way before it was cool to quit. You know, I just stopped.
I quit before it was cool.
Yeah, I used to have bottle, man, every fucking time that garbage man would come at my house when I was on over there on Darwin, dude. He'd empty that shit on a Monday and it clink, 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 the whole, I mean, god damn.
The whole recycling bin?
Yeah, it's all, well, fuck
right.
the whole garbage can. It's all I drank was bottles, and I used to drink, you know.
Should have just had a keg.
I probably should have. It'd been a lot cheaper.
What, do y'all remember are y'all old enough to remember the balls, the party
Oh, yeah,
balls?
yeah, the little party ball, yeah.
Yeah, little
They still
party
got
balls.
them.
Do they really?
Yeah,
Little
I'll see
buzz
'em there.
balls?
No,
No?
It's a keg. So basically, it's a big ass ball of beer.
Came in a box or whatever. Didn't it come in a
And-
box or something, Boojie? Yeah.
You sit there and you pump it up, and it pressurizes, and then you hit the little spigot, and you can.
And it might be like a quarter keg or a third of a
Yeah.
keg or something.
And they still have the little Heineken kegs, right?
I think I remember the Heineken, the small Heineken kegs, but nothing other than that.
Maybe they don't have the party ball kegs. I might be
Yeah, I
tripping.
don't know. I think they were called party balls or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I thought so. I might be tripping.
Old school, showing my freaking age around.
Party
there.
balls.
I remember 'em. Yeah, it ain't pulling nothing up like you can get them nowadays, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't have them, but I do remember them.
They still have the little Heineken kegs, though.
Yeah, yeah. they
Cute
got them
little-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do with that? I don't understand it.
Show off.
Show up at a party. Look,
Be
guys,
white.
I bought 12 ounces of beer with me.
Be standing there like this, just it's in
Be
the background,
white.
like
Or
glaring
box
at you.
wine, you know, you go up to a party, bring up some
Ooh,
box
fancy.
wine.
You get a
Good
box of
stuff.
Fireball.
Yeah, yeah.
You get box Fireball.
What?
Box Fireball. I heard they wanted a lawsuit or something. I mean, 'cause
They
it
should
wasn't
be.
really true alcohol.
It
or
was
something.
the small 50 milliliter bottles. Like there was the Fireball cinnamon whiskey, and then there was it was like malt liquor, and they said it was
malt liquor.
yeah.
Trying to pass it off as
They did. They
whiskey.
had it in there, and they were trying to pass it off as cinnamon whiskey, but it was cinnamon whiskey flavored. Is what they were saying.
Wait. So, Fireball is what?
Well, no, the little ones for some reason. Them little
The
shots.
big Fireballs are whiskey, but if you get the
Oh,
little
that little ass one?
if you get them, read them, and some of them are just malt liquor that's flavored like cinnamon whiskey.
But they said that on the bottle, right?
pretty much, yeah.
So
but
it's amazing they can even sue. I mean, but I guess it was misleading because
It
you're thinking
was.
you're buying Fireball whiskey.
It's very misleading. That's like that weed van that was riding around in New Orleans.
They still do. They all are.
Yeah?
There. Oh yeah.
Weed van. Tell me more about this weed
Could have
van.
bought it. It was in the auction.
Oh, the van itself?
Yeah.
Dude, they've got like 12 of them now. Like
Oh, really?
they've upgraded to.
But what the
bigger
fuck
vans.
is a
big
weed
ass
van? I wanna
There's a
know.
big van. You could pull it up.
They sell
There's a cannabis van that rides around. It's a full size.
they sell like suckers and brownies and fucking all kind of shit.
Oh, just
It's like a taco truck, but it's
okay.
weed.
And it's supposed to have weed and everything that it sells, but of course everything that they sell has zero weed in
I
it.
think it's all CBD.
probably. Yeah.
But they like,
Delta-
I mean,
was it
for
Delta
like a-
8 or 7? What is
No,
it?
that was before that. It
Oh,
was
even
like
before that.
straight
I
CBD
gotcha,
shit.
gotcha.
Like, yeah, but they'd be selling like a lollipop for like $20.
Yeah, people were like
because they thought it had something in it.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
everybody thought it had
You
weed
saying
in
a
it.
weed van? I'm
Snake
thinking y'all
oil.
talking about like Big Worm on Friday or something. Like I'm like, well, that's
Oh, like the ice cream man?
Yeah, I thought y'all meant there was a
That's
real.
how the van
I mean,
was.
pretty
He had
much,
a
yeah,
big
yeah.
ass van, and it was vinyl wrapped from front to back
Yeah,
with
and somebody be behind him in a
fields of
van, like,
marijuana and just all over it, like weed leaves everywhere. It's all over it. And you
But
go
who
up
would
there.
buy that from a van thinking that's real weed? It's
Motherfuckers
not
in
even
New
legal,
Orleans.
right? You can't just ride around selling
tourists and shit.
weed.
Yeah, no.
Well, after you've been drinking a lot, you know, you do some stupid
I'm
shit.
just saying, you got to be dumb to think you're getting
You would
real.
think,
Like
huh?
they just advertising like that.
And
We're selling
hey,
fucking
they're
narcotics.
making money because I've seen them.
But
Like,
we're talking about the
every
city of New
time-
Orleans.
I heard they got
right,
sued,
you know?
Every time I go back to the French Quarter, there's 2 or 3 of them. They'll be hanging out at every corner and shit out there. I'm like, what the
Yeah, I seen it.
And,
I've
and
never
their
seen
vans
that.
are getting nicer, you know. It was some old
They
fucking
upgrade,
shit.
not
Yeah,
upgrade.
Nicer.
yeah.
I got to get out more. I've never seen these fucking weed vans, dude.
All right, so
But
how
I don't
many,
go to that fucking.
so how many lollipops did you buy off of that van?
Yeah, how many did you get duped into buying?
Come on, tell us the
Because
truth.
I always was like, how the fuck are they selling weed out of this van? This was like, I
Well,
mean,
that was my
fucking
first
like
thought.
5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I was like, what the fuck?
Like I get selling weed out of a van if you're doing it under, kind of like
Yeah, no,
Something
they
advertise. Like, we have
They
cover of
advertise.
darkness
Yeah,
or something. Or just
yeah.
don't put it all over
Right.
your fucking van.
Right.
like
you know?
the whole van is just lime green, and it's just got like different strains of weed posted on it, buds, and it's got like space cakes and shit on it.
and
like,
not
yeah,
an ounce of fucking weed in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as
yeah.
selling it,
Be like, man, what they want?
I had never heard of that, honestly. I pull it up. I look at weed vans. It's pulling up fucking tennis shoes with weed
Did you
leaves
see-
on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, van tennis
yeah,
shoes, right?
Vans
Yeah.
tennis shoes.
You got
yeah.
to put French Quarter in there. You got to put New Orleans French Quarter weed van.
French Quarter, New Orleans. Weeding it out. I want to. No, damn, there it is too. There it is. Let me see.
But yeah, they got that truck.
Our Jamie.
Well, fuck, I don't know shit about no fucking weed vans.
calling
Dude. I
it
just
that.
read
Yeah, it
shit.
is.
That's,
Look
so
at
that's
that.
it.
That's
So
it
that
right there. That's the original one.
which one? That one.
Yeah,
So that's how they fucking ride.
It was-
around. Well,
it
that's
was,
the article, but yeah.
that's
so,
the original one. Yeah.
That's the one that was abandoned. Well, no, I know that. Never mind. That's somewhere else. But
yeah.
go
So
back.
you see this riding around, and you think in your mind that you're buying legal fucking like
yeah.
weed out of that fucking thing. Damn. I guess wouldn't have fooled me, but fucking some states that might be legal. I don't know.
Cali,
California. Yeah.
Oregon, Colorado.
They call
probably.
it weed world candies.
Weed world.
No wonder you think you're getting that shit. That's awesome, dude. We need that over here.
It wasn't really just identified as
Well,
marijuana.
you can do that. You can do that.
They had a physical store over there too. Right across from Pepper Palace in the French Quarter.
How
They
long
had
did
a-
it take
a
you to
Weed World
figure out
store.
that shit wasn't real?
I never even questioned it. I didn't care.
Didn't really.
Like,
Yeah, just,
I ain't
So I
fucking
went
with
in
them.
every week. I never questioned
well,
it.
for a second, I'm thinking it is New Orleans. Maybe
Exactly.
it is.
Everything's
No,
but-
I'm picking on
And then their
Justin. y'all.
store, they had a physical store in the French Quarter, and they had plastic weed plants in pots in the front of
Really?
the store in the window, and it looked like real plants, but it was
I
all
could see
plastic
it working,
fucking weed
though.
plants and shit.
With all these tourists that come
yeah,
here,
yeah,
well, anything
definitely.
flies in New
'Cause,
Orleans.
I mean, they're
you know?
dead in the middle of
I
French
remember the weed
Quarter.
beads.
Well, yeah,
like
but this
weed, like
this
the
is shit you're
marijuana leaves on
ingesting.
it.
So they're sucking like, oh, I feel it, man.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
there's
You're
some
half-
motherfuckers out
you're
there.
half drunk,
Man,
yeah,
I'm
you
fucking
know,
high as
right.
Fuck, man.
You
You
give me
know
one
it.
of them edibles. You know? Oh, wow, that's some good stuff
Poor
there,
little,
dog.
same little dude that was smoking oregano in his house is probably on it.
Yep, I feel something, man. I feel it.
He's just got a sugar high.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's just a
I'm going
dumbass.
to piss. Anybody want to go?
No, go. You can go pee for me if you could. Thanks.
Hold down the fort.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some brash shit while you gone. Had to get another monitor up here.
Yeah, the
Big one.
executive producer steps out, so we
Yeah, we're gonna just like be like Bebe's kids.
where's
As
his
soon as they
board?
step out.
Don't we have to clap or something, dude? Or whatever.
Oh, we can start just hitting on this to make all of it.
Nah, he's got a board down
He
there.
does.
Man.
He's got
He
he's
made
got
it.
a clapboard, so you can.
What? Take one.
Yeah.
And everybody got quiet.
You,
You
You all right over there?
you still in the same place?
Yep.
Yeah,
Still in the same place. Struggling. Scratching and surviving.
I believe it.
There's a lot of us, man, out there.
Yeah, I know. That's a damn shame.
It shouldn't be like this.
Nope.
It really shouldn't.
Nope. Not all of these poor white people got to feel how it is for the rest of us. That's a damn shame.
Yep.
Oh, you need gas money? Oh, didn't know what gas. You thought it was just money, wasn't it? Huh? No, it's gas money. Now you figuring that shit out. Yeah. It's terrible. It's a terrible world we live in now. Shit is really, really, really bad.
It is.
That's
It's
why.
not getting any better, man. I've been saying for a couple of years now, it's like I think it has to crash before there's even a chance of it getting better. You know, I don't know if there's any turning around the status quo. Not that I've come to the conclusion. It's like, you sit back and you think about it, 32, 33, 34 trillion, whatever it is. It's just a number, man. It's just a digital number. I don't think it matters anymore.
So it's kind of like what you're talking about. It's like everything's running in reverse order because you hope that things get better by people getting smarter.
And
But
that's
you
not
know that's
happening,
not going to
man.
happen. So
It's
then
not gonna happen.
the flip side of the coin is that, all right, if you don't, how do you say that? If you don't learn it, you'll feel it.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta,
don't
like-
understand history,
yeah,
you're bound
yeah,
to
yeah.
repeat it, And
Same thing. So
it is.
with that being said, like I do know that exactly what you're saying. Like with me, I'm trying to get smarter and I'm trying to diversify and I'm trying to see things for what they really are. I'm trying not to buy.
And look, I've been self-employed for
Buy
almost
weed
30
off the weed,
years.
man.
I've been self-employed almost 30 years, man. And it's just, and it's been, I started with nothing and to where I've built my business to, and just to see just the government regulations, the taxes, the insurances, and just what everything costs. It's out the box, man. And just I see what everything costs.
Because they make it mandatory. But the thing
They
is,
make it mandatory.
Yeah,
Exactly
Social media is starting to really start to get a lot of people hip, but then they're starting to use that shit with the woke movement and go in a different direction with it, and it's terrible.
You still don't realize it like the full extent until you do start getting into it. Like even shit as small as like health insurance and shit. Like I had no clue. You think health insurance when you're a little bit younger, but recently we were trying to kind of get it straight, just in case. But it's shit's expensive as fuck.
it's out
Like
the
they wanted
box.
like $600 a month, and I'm like I'll just pay the fucking doctor.
Who was that
Yeah,
for? That's for you, the wife, and the kid.
No, he is on Medicaid, so it's just me and her. It's like 600 a month.
I know y'all are young because that's about what it is
and
for
what's
me
your
and my wife.
deductible behind that?
Fuck. It was some crazy shit that I was like, why would
Absolutely.
we pay that?
Look, I had Oshner for, God, I don't know, I've been married 20 years now, but I had Oshner Health, and I'm sorry I say Oshner Health, but I've had Blue Cross Blue Shield for 20 years. Policy starts out great, $50 copay, $2 something a month every year. Of course, and I can understand price increments throughout the year. You're getting older, it costs more for tests and all. And it was, when I got rid of it, for myself alone, was $980 a month.
God damn.
Now look, that they picked
fuck,
up
that's a
everything.
house note.
Exactly. And my wife was pushing $9 something a month. It was costing us like $1,800 a month just for health insurance. So it got to a point where it's like, I'm not paying. I go to the doctor once or twice a year
But that's what
for a checkup.
That's where I was at, and I'm like, by the time I pay off my deductible, it's gonna be fucking December. So I'm like,
Exactly. You're never going to get ahead. So that's what I did. I got rid of it. Now I'm in a plan, and it's still $450 a month, $470 a month, whatever the number is. But I got a $6,000 deductible before they pick up anything.
Of anything.
so it's like not only am I paying you $1,000 every 2 months, but I'm paying $6,000 before you pay.
I think I went to the
anything.
doctor twice, and that was straight. And my doctor charges me $125 for a checkup. Blood work from Quest or any of these other, $50. But
Damn.
it's I mean, look, you gotta have it just in case something happens.
I don't know. You do. You're right.
Go to the doctor and then go to the emergency room, come home, and then look and see how many different people bill you.
Oh, absolutely. But
There's
sometimes
so
I
much
sit
smoke
back
and mirrors shit that's going on with that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
$30
even
for an
funny.
aspirin. I
No,
get
no,
it,
no,
dude. I understand.
No, never mind that.
$25 for the pill you laid on.
Never mind that. Never mind that. Look how many different entities bill you. You go to Slidell Memorial and come home, you have 9 different corporations and entities that bill you from everywhere across the United States. It is a whole pile of horse shit.
So, what do you think the solution is?
Okay, so I as we talk more, you'll start to understand how much I respect that cell phone, because the cell phone is basically, and I'll give you an instance. How many years ago? How long ago did we have Primeco phones?
Oh, Lord,
That was
yeah.
20 years ago. All right,
Right.
20 short years. All right, so in 20 years, the best you could do was to go to the library or sit even before the internet. Let's go back 30. Well, let's say 30 years ago, right? You go back to 30 years ago, and there was no internet. There was you wasn't walking
Justin's
around.
like, them days existed?
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
I do think that all the time. I'm like, how the fuck did y'all survive being grown with no internet?
So now you're walking around with a supercomputer in your pocket. You have all of the information there in your pocket, right? A lot of people died because of the fact that they didn't know that they needed, whatever, X, Y, Z, whatever it is. Okay. So now, where's this information stored at? That's coming off of the internet, right? So now we have, instead of going to the doctor and having him, do whatever and make you sit there while you hurting and so forth and so on, the medical part of it's gotten easy. So what they did was they made it super complicated on the other side of it.
Well, there's a lot of money in it. They can't make it. Why would they make it simple?
For us, it's ours. I'm just saying it's ours.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of money in it, man.
Yeah, no, but it's so now they made it so complicated until they keep on revamping like the laws, so they try to pass a law and then they put these revisions in there and they hide other stuff. They put a law. It's supposed to be a simple law, and the law is 900 pages long. Why is it 900 pages long? You know what I mean? Like so you have that in healthcare too. They make it so complicated, and then you have people that have patents on that medicine, like that little jerk.
You do with
that
the
Martin.
Was it the
That
EpiPen
dude-
guy? Or?
No, that was the one with the.
Oh, there's a few of them. Yeah,
But the one you're talking about is that Martin.
pill's supposed to be $7. and
Yeah,
he
but what was it
charges-
for? I forget what
he
the
raised
pill.
it like 1,500%
But,
overnight or some
but
shit like
what
that.
was it for?
Is it diabetes?
I think it was diabetes.
It was something.
Something
I've
like
heard
that.
him try
I
to
think it's diabetes.
diabetes. Yeah, I've heard him try to justify why he did it. Before. But he was just saying because of research and all that goes
No,
into
he
it. But
laughed
it's like,
about it.
Yeah,
that little prick. And here's the other
Didn't he
thing
go
too.
to prison for it?
I don't know if it was for that, but he did go to prison.
He was a grimy little bastard. But here's the thing, though. All right. So if there's proof that dude is that grimy, and we're all bitching about something that he did, but it was legal, so he got away with it, that goes to show you what. Like, where's the law at for us? All of this stuff's supposed to be for us. Every time you pay taxes, every time you go to the doctor, everything. So where's the shit going?
Yeah, but like with the hospitals and shit, like I've seen it explained, like the prices go up basically on the insurance and the doctors fighting. Like insurance is undercutting the doctors, so the doctors raise the prices so that they can still make their money after the insurance says, no, we're not paying you $250. We'll
how
give
does
you
that sound?
$75.
How does that sound? What does that sound like?
I mean,
What does that sound like?
Well, I will say a lot
sounds
of those
like we
places.
get fucked when we
Yeah.
have cash.
Well, we do. Well, but a lot of the places they will you'll get a discount for cash.
No,
They don't like
no,
dealing with
no,
the
no.
insurance
My
charges.
doctor
No.
will, but the
Yeah.
hospital
No.
won't give a
The-
fuck.
No, the hospital
Doctors
don't
blaming
care.
the hospital, and the hospital's
Well, no, yeah,
blaming
I'm not
the
saying any
doctor.
of them are innocent.
What does that sound like? That sounds like an aversion. Like, oh, it wasn't me, it was him. It was him. It was me. And meanwhile, okay, so like, let's say you walk outside and your windshield's kicked in, right? And there's one or the other. And they both sit there and just play the blame game against each other the whole
I get
time.
it, yeah.
But you're the one that's getting screwed. And here's another thing, too.
But what do you do about it?
Okay, so
What do you do?
we would have to try to find a way, just like they did with the stocks and the hedge fund people with GameStop. Once you start to understand what's going on, and you can go around it, that's when you're upset.
But we're so far deep into this bullshit like that you're talking about in this political now that you ain't fixing that shit in this
You do.
country. You ain't fixing it.
And there's
Well, I'm
doctors
doing
out
it.
there that have tried that have come out there and say, you know what, look, for $150 a month, you're entitled to this many x-rays or blood work or this, and they shut them down. And they shut you down,
Oh, you got to play the game with them big boys, like especially around here, because Oxford's buying up everything. And if you don't play by that, they let you know, like they let them doctors know you got so much time per patient. Because I know people on the inside, and they will tell you you got so much time.
Yeah,
per
so how do you get around that?
Well, you don't. That's what I'm saying.
No, you do.
How?
You just have to.
How?
You go to Mexico. Go to Mexico and get your procedures done.
Get a Brazilian
No, I'm just
butt
saying
lift
that-
and go on the.
It's all of this is ours.
What you think it is? Go take it. You know what I mean? It used to be. I think that was the premise. Like, that's what it all started with. But we've gave these fucks so much power over the decades that you're not getting it back.
You're not getting
Right.
it back, man.
It was all by trusting that they know what's best. So we would just allow them to run things. Put him in charge. He knows. He cares. Man, that caused so much fucking corruption. And then they started making money with everything, and that's when it really fucking it's over with, dude. How do you get that back? I mean, how do you get it back? We talk about it all the time. I mean, look what they did on January 6th. Now, might have been a bunch of idiots up there for, whatever wrong reasons, but for the most part, they was just there voicing their opinions, and they made a fucking example out of everybody they can
They
find.
still make an
because,
example.
exactly, because they push back against this fucking tyrants that are up there. So don't think you're gonna try
You
that
seen
shit.
they
and get
just
away with
arrested
it.
a father and son in Covington?
I didn't really.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
shit. On that.
On
the
the J6.
wow.
Yeah.
So close to
It
home.
was I think he was about, I want to say 57-year-old guy and his son.
yeah.
Yeah, they had just arrested him.
On what though? What the fuck was the
Because
charges?
he was
Because they showed up.
He was in the Capitol, and they of course now they got him on surveillance with taking pictures and all that crap. But yeah, they have arrested them.
Could have been you, dude.
Yeah, not gonna be me.
Could have been you, man.
That's what you're talking about storming the Capitol. You talking about that? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like just
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying that people just get fed up with bullshit, and when you try to push back against
Fucking
any of these
backlash, yeah.
powerful fucking entities,
Well, it depends
that's
on what
what
you're
they
pushing
do
back
to
on.
you. Well, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, well, that's true because the other side's over there fucking
Burning cities down.
Yeah,
no problem.
exactly.
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you gotta. That's true.
All's
You gotta.
well.
Peaceful protesting.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right. It depends on who you're pushing back against and what
But I'm
side
with
you're
you.
on.
There is no changing it.
How you can change it?
There's no changing
gonna
it.
change
Like
it?
I said earlier, I think it has to fall before we rebuild.
Of course.
yeah,
You know?
because
So I
we're
think
working
there's
on
hard times.
we're working on the whole idiocy paradigm where you have to be a complete. You got to do something about the idiots because nobody's gonna get smarter.
a bunker cap.
We can educate. We can educate everybody. We can educate people all day long,
can try
as
to
much as you
educate
can. Yeah, or try, I should say, or even give them an education.
Right.
The thing of it is, the people fall back. They just fall back to idiocy. They're only smart for a short while, and then they try to go have a voice and they try to get up there and say some stupid shit, and then of course the empty can rattles the most, and the next thing you know, this part blows up, but the whole informational part of it, dies away, and it goes back to whoever's pulling the strings. But we don't have a lot of what we should. Like what's going on right now with insurance, with homeowners insurance, just insurance in general.
Bro, if they don't fix that shit in this state sometime soon, ain't nobody
It's-
gonna live here because you about
But
to feel
how?
the fucking
How do you
wrath.
fix it? Do you make these companies come
Well,
in
you
and write?
can't.
You really
You can't. It's got to have
you know?
some kind of incentives, but the government's got to be willing to eat something to do that. And it's like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are they?
'cause it's
You know?
like we just wind up paying for the incentives and then it doesn't help anyway.
Well, that's true, yeah, because somebody's going to pay for it. So I'm with you. It's like, how the fuck do you fix it? You're not going to stop hurricanes, and that's what causes this bullshit, And I get it. I mean, if I'm an insurance company, I'm not in it to lose money, but somebody's got to do something to stop because they're going to run us all out of fucking
It's
house and home.
destroying people.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
really
I
is.
always say I didn't buy my house to pay a fucking $3,000 a month house note, and that's what it's going to creep up to if this shit. So then what I got to do? I got to move out of state or something.
First, you got to try to sell.
Well, true. Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
true.
if your
And then
house
when you
isn't
can't
already
sell,
fucked
Oh,
up,
God, yeah,
'cause,
God forbid you're in a flood zone.
then you can't sell, and
like-
you can't afford to know what they're going to do. Come in
Then
and
you
take
then
your
you're
shit.
screwed.
like hurricane deductibles are expensive when we were shopping for ours, like 15% hurricane deductibles and shit. So it's like if my house gets fucked up and I have to pay 20 grand out of pocket before insurance pays for it, how am I going to
Right,
fix
you
my
might have
house? You know what I mean?
$30,000 worth of damage.
How am I going to fix my house? You know what I mean? So
How you
now
going to fix
it's
your house
like-
on 10 grand?
Yeah.
Exactly. And then they're going to require you to fix your house before they're going to re-up your insurance
That's
again.
the policy you're under now.
I think we got a little bit less of a deductible, but that was like the next step up. It was like 15% on a $300,000 insurance. You know,
I think I'm at 2% hurricane deductible.
I don't know what the
But I mean,
fuck.
I've been
I might
with the
have to
people
ask
for
her,
20
but-
years, but
Dude, I'm so tired of insurance.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I'm so tired
And
of
you
it.
got to have it if you're financing. I mean, you don't have to have it, but
it's just anything. Like we just talked
Oh,
about.
yeah,
car
so-
insurance, you have to.
I'm saying you don't have to if you own.
You're gonna-
well, yeah, car insurance.
you're gonna
you have
grow
to.
your house?
I'm
You're gonna-
insurance broke.
Actually,
Yeah. I
car
tell
insurance
people I'm
just went
insurance broke, man, with business.
Yeah,
Car
I am too.
insurance, workman's comp, general liability.
Our car
you know?
insurance went up $100 for the 6 months because I
Because they
emailed
can.
and was like,
Just
what
because.
the fuck? And
Just
they were
because.
like, well,
Right.
the risk factors in the state and da-da-da. And I was like,
Wait, but I got a remedy for that. So how long have you been with your insurance company for?
3 years?
Yep, that's where you messed up at.
Wow, you should be switching
Every 2
often.
years.
Really?
Read about it, you'll see.
I've heard that.
I just got all my shit bundled, so switching's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, I was
you
about
know?
to switch because
And
I was
that's why
like,
people don't.
just go up $100, like just for
Like,
what?
yeah,
Like, the
nope,
fuck?
they did that shit to me. They did it to
1/3.
me. They got to the point to where I was paying. Well, of course I buy cars, from wherever. So I was almost paying per month what I paid for a car. And, I mean, I got a car at junk prices, but still, I'm like, what? This shit, hold on. So I got on the phone. I was like, why is my insurance, going up so much? Oh, you're going to have to call straight to Progressive. I said, okay. So I hung up, call straight to Progressive. He says, no, you got to go and see a local agent. I said, I just talked to a local agent and said that I had to call you. No, you got to call them. So I called back and I said, how does this go whenever I don't have insurance with y'all anymore? I'm like, what do I have to do? She was like, oh, well, if you're going to drop insurance on one of the vehicles like that, you got to make sure that you turn your plate into the. I was like, no, I don't want to turn my plate in. I just don't have insurance with y'all anymore. Like, what do I do? She was like, oh, you don't want to be with us anymore? I said, no. She said, well, why? I said, remember when I called you this morning and asked you why my policy went up so much? And you never answered me and told me to call the head office? She said, yeah. I said, so I called them, because you said that it was them, and then they said it was you. So I'm fucking pissed off at both of y'all, and I don't want your business anymore. So I'm just asking, because I've been paying you all of this free money because I never use it. And I was asking, since you probably got $5,000 or $6,000 from me, over the course of when I had insurance with you, just to give me something for my money instead of a bill each month. And I'd like to know like what do I have to do to go to someone else. And she's like, well, I'm sorry if you want to hear that. I was like, you ain't as sorry as I am. I was like, because I'm disappointed. So what do I have to do? She didn't give me an answer. I was like, all right. So I was about to get to the point that I was going to start to burn the bridge. And I was like, it's like, no, because it's not her fault because she's doing her job. I didn't understand how the system is. It had me that pissed off. And then once I went to another place and I researched it, it was like, yeah, about every 2 years. So actually what they'll do is if there's let's say there's two companies. Okay. Company A is, let's say the baseline to actually insure you is $100. Okay. So you go in there and you start off at $90, right? And then next, 95. Next thing, 6 months later, $100. 6 months later, 110. And why don't you switch? Just what you said. It's easier and more complacent
it's a pain
to
in
be
the ass.
complacent.
I agree with you.
It's convenient to be complacent than it is to actually get up and move and do something about it. But every 2 years with auto. So start
And then
shopping around.
with auto insurance, it's like
So I went from, well, one thing I'll add. So I was paying about 110 for liability on the vehicle that I had. And then when I got online, I went to Geico. It was $33 a month. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It is. It's a pain in the ass when you have auto insurance and you're sitting here and it's like, yeah, why? Like you said, why are y'all $150 now? So you quote it out from another company. Well, we'll do that for 90. Oh, okay. Well, sign me up. Well, guess what? Progressive or X insurance company is going to turn around and say, well, you canceled your insurance. They're going to turn you into the state. So now the state's going to send you a letter saying you had no insurance during this coverage period, even though you did. So now you got to find the documentation. You got to bring it to the DMV or some other affiliate,
I've been through it.
and you
I've
got
been
to
through
fight for it. Yeah, you got to fight for this to get it cleared off your
They're
record.
not the only ones. Cell phone companies do it as well. Because you know how hard it is to get a different cell phone.
Yeah, but fuck, at least you don't have to have that. You have to have fucking car insurance.
Wait, so you don't have to have a cell phone?
No, I'm not saying that I do because that's how I live my life. But I'm
no.
saying it's not required by the fucking state.
It's not illegal to not have one.
Exactly. That's my point. By law, you have to have car insurance, or you're not supposed to be driving.
I'll go without car insurance if I go without a cell phone.
Well, I would too. But I'm just
Well, I
saying.
mean, most
but the
people
government's not.
probably would. Yeah.
No.
And look, you can go burner phone, man, if you had to. You know,
Yes,
I'm
we
gonna pay
can.
$25
Man,
or
look,
whatever.
that cell phone. Come on now.
It's shit when they force you to do it, and I get that.
When you're
I get the idea,
mandated
right?
to do that,
I don't
it's
understand
just-
why, because a motherfucker hits you that can't afford to fix your
I agree.
shit. You know?
All of them. It's your internet provider. It's everybody. You got to start being a little more conscientious of your stuff. You can't just rove around just being rich all the time. Sometimes you got to pay attention.
Well, I wouldn't know that feeling. I promise you.
But like with homeowners insurance, it was like you and I talked about. It was crazy that I bought my house for $230-ish, and they're making me have $350,000 worth of coverage. Like for what?
Because they know. No, wait. What do they know? Answer that.
Well, they probably know you don't have to fucking pay it either way.
No, they
but-
know that
They know
whenever
I
it
need
comes
it.
down, like if you wind up having a total loss, that they're going to pay how much of that?
Not all of it.
Exactly.
Not all of it at all.
So they're like,
all right,
yeah,
because
exactly.
for
But I always
one,
say, when
like,
you hit me with those figures, will you buy this motherfucker from me for $350,000?
Exactly, because
Exactly right.
Prick.
Yeah, but
That's
here's the
crazy.
thing. Here's the thing. So, should there be a clause that if you went for so long, that you can get some of that shit back?
Well, I was thinking that early when you said that. I'm like, we ought to get a fucking bonus check at the end of every year when we didn't use their fucking services.
or
you know?
even you and I talked about like with car insurance. If I have a $6,000 car and I'm covered up to $40,000, why don't I pay $40,000, $45,000, $50,000 into the insurance and I'm done? Like you have my money to cover me in any incident I get into.
no, you can. You can do an
compared
insurance
to the
bond.
coverage that
You
I
can.
have.
You can bind yourself to insurance, but it also opens it up to litigation too. You don't have that kind of money.
No.
No, you might have 40 grand, but what I'm saying
like,
is
why can't I
to
pay
cover
Geico
because if they
60?
find out that you have that insurance bond, they're gonna go after every penny of it. And if you get hit with any court costs on that shit, your ass is done. That's
Well, you
why
only get
insurance
coverage
covers.
up to whatever amount you choose, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of like what he's saying is once I reach that amount, that's all you're going to fucking pay anyway if I get in an accident. So why do I have to keep paying you
Because
more?
if,
you know what I
they
mean?
sue
I'll
Geico for
start to-
all $60,000 worth of my coverage, anything over that, they're coming after me.
Geico has lawyers. No, Geico has lawyers. They got to get through Geico.
Yeah,
first
but they're
and-
only
But
paying
if
so
they do
much.
get through Geico, they're coming after me. If they want $100,000,
You don't understand what I'm saying?
The
Let me roll it
extra
back a little
40
bit.
is on me.
They have to get through Geico first before they get to you. So they're not gonna mess with you because of the fact that they know that they have to go through Geico first, and insurance
that, but
has
people do it
insurance
every
lawyers.
day.
they get the small stuff. They don't get the big stuff. They get that little whatever. Or once in a while, you get someone when it slips through the crack. But if I'm someone who's law savvy and I know that you're riding around with an insurance bond on your car and it's you and you got to get your lawyer, I'm going to get every penny of it.
But you
Then
can
some.
only get so much, is what he's saying.
It
So
no.
So if mine caps out at 20
You know what I'm saying?
grand,
No,
then
no.
why am I paying you more than that every fucking year?
Geico isn't going to say, well, the judge awarded him 70, so we're going to pay all of it. We'll pay your whole 70, even though you're only covered for 25. We'll pay your whole. They're not going to do that. They're going to look at me and be like, yeah, you.
Well, they might come after you personally.
That's what I mean. But Geico ain't paying no more.
No,
These
Geico-
Yeah, but the
insurance
thing of it
companies.
is,
Right.
no, what I'm talking about is, so if I'm the entity of Geico and you're the entity of you, and then something happens between me and him, right? So let's say I insure him, and then I'm Geico. I have my lawyers. So if you're trying to get something out of him and knowing that you're going to hit my lawyers to get it, you're not going to do it. But if you know that you're going straight for him, there's nothing you can do to stop him. They'll get you. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I thought about it. I've talked to people who have enough money to do that, and I asked why
Yeah,
they
I
don't
think
do
you're
it.
misunderstanding what he's saying. There's a cap on your
I'll show
policy.
you. No,
You're
no, no.
Geico.
I get it. But what I'm saying is for me to get the 40 grand out of him,
Right.
as opposed to get the 40 grand out of you that you have a regular insurance company, you have insurance lawyers. Insurance lawyers have deep pockets and they also have the know-how to fight that. You got me? Whereas far as he's just riding around in his
I
car.
know, but
No,
you,
but I'm
we
saying I'm
talking
still
about
with
I know.
Geico.
I'll have to show you.
we talking about two different things.
I
I'm
know, it's-
saying the shit caps at a certain point. That's
get it.
all the insurance is paying. I don't give a fuck what kind of lawyers you got. If your policy says 20 grand in fucking liability or whatever, that's all anybody's getting if you hit them. So if I pay say somehow I pay 30 grand to you all year long for you to give me $20,000 worth of fucking coverage, why the fuck should I have to pay you more than your coverage? Which granted that don't happen. I don't pay
I'm saying
$30,000
I'm
in
still with
insurance. but-
Geico. But as Geico, if you're covering me for 50 grand, I should be able to pay you 60, maybe 70 for your troubles. And that's it. You cover
Oh,
me
but
for
they
50,
won't.
and I'm done. No, they won't. Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
talking
I say
about,
over
we're
the-
talking about two different.
yes,
we'll have
over
a
the-
different
exactly.
conversation.
over the
That's fine.
lifetime that you have them until you get in an
exactly.
accident. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I
about
should
every
be able to
year.
pay
I didn't
you
think about
A
that.
couple $1,000s over, a couple.
Well,
but
but
like I said,
why?
10,
Because
20,
they
and-
they control that because you make you have it. I mean, you got to have it. It's like, well, don't fucking pay me. I don't care.
You're going to
We won't
cover me for
you.
up to 40. I should be able to pay you around 60-ish. And then you cover me. That's a wrap. And if I ever use all of it, then we'll start over and I'll start
Like I
paying
was
you
trying
again,
to,
but-
what I was trying to explain, that the laws and the system is designed so that you go through the insurance, and because of the fact that
Absolutely.
if you have your own insurance bond, you're gonna have to be very, very law savvy in order for that. If
Yeah,
you do
no,
get
no,
into an
that's-
accident,
that's
that you
way
can't
above
just
what- no, fuck
like
all that.
for the person who's driving around with insurance, they fall back on the insurance company to take care of that.
He was
for
just
them.
talking about you pay these motherfuckers for 10 years and never
Oh, yeah,
use
yeah.
them. Well,
Oh,
you
yeah,
you done paid way more than they're ever going to give out if you get in an accident.
Especially
So-
if you're not buying brand new fucking cars every couple. You know what I mean?
Well, you're
But,
talking
like,
to
if
somebody
you're-
who does.
Exactly, like you. Imagine what you've paid an insurance company that you haven't fucking used. Like that's crazy.
Y'all want some shakaroni?
Shakaroni. I can't
Got
say
some
I've ever had any
shakaroni in there.
shakaroni.
It's
man.
just fucking pepperoni that's jazzed up.
Oh, it's just
shakaroni. Y'all want some? They're in there. Y'all get a pizza if you want them.
All right, I'll get one.
Something in your gut. We can fucking wrap it up. Y'all want to wrap it up?
All that fucking
Let's wrap it
DoorDash
up.
and you.
No, we're gonna hit something else. We got one more thing to talk about before we go.
If it's some gay shit, dude, I'm not. I'm not doing
All right,
it.
we're just gonna go on and wrap it
I
up.
mean,
then.
we can talk about it, but it ain't gonna go your way. I
go
promise
on and
you.
wrap it up then. Man, let's just wrap it up. Shit, my Vaseline is drying out. Come on.
We leave it on that note.